Hello and welcome to Typica Magica. Welcome on another exciting video of DNA of the Divine, the Starseed series. I want to say thank you for all the likes on the previous video. I'm sending out all my unconditional love. I'm sending you all my joy and positive energy. I'm wishing you just so much awesomeness right now. And thank you for joining me on this, not just a magical journey for me, but to be part of it with you as well, as we are all working together to become the best version of ourselves, the sparkly higher dimensional that we are, because we are powerful. We are source energy, and that is what we are fundamentally. As I said, source that has come here to have the human experience that's forgotten that is source. But don't worry, because I'm gonna wake you up. So here we go. So by the way, just another thing, welcome to all the new followers. Welcome to the TIFF Club. Thank you for joining us. And I really hope that these videos can really help you going forward in your spiritual journey. So just sending so much love. So let's cover today Pleiadian starseeds. And there are a few of us here on this planet right now. We are all down here at the moment, and we're all part of the starseed gang, and we're here part of the awakening. So I'm calling up all my Pleiadian brothers and sisters, and if you are resonating with this, and if you are on the start of your starseed journey and looking for those answers to find out who you are and why you felt so different from a young age, then this video will be for you. Well, I hope it will be for you. But from one Pleiadian to all you Pleiadians and those that feel they may have had experiences there, let's get into it. So first of all, starting off, because I know we all have a conception on what certain Pleiadians look like. Yes, we know that majority of them, they are very tall, you know, they can have very fair features and tend to have like these big almond eyes. Yes, there's quite a few too, but there's a whole range really, to be honest with you, because you've got the tall ones with light blue skins. There's quite a few that goes on in Pleiades, to be honest with you. And also, I think I've said in the previous video, and I will do a video covering a topic on the Lyran War to be more intense within that. But a lot of Pleiadians as well, majority of them might have possibly, and actually really most definitely some of them, but not all, would have had a lifetime in the Lyran constellation, because as we know, there was the Lyran Wars, and the human gene, what you call the humanoid gene, originated in Lyra. And obviously when that destruction went down with the Orion Lyran War, you know, the remaining survivors of the Lyrans and the other constellations, majority of them went off to places like Pleiades, Andromeda, Arcturus, Arcturus, yes, that was one of them, and also Sirius, and so forth and so forth. So some people that are Pleiadians may have different sort of mixed memories because they would have had an experience in both. So it really depends at the time that you are in Pleiades, or you could have been there twice. It doesn't matter. But anyway, you know what? If it resonates with you and you hear the name Pleiades and you're thinking, hang on a minute, does that ring a bell? Is part of you, my love. So let's go for it. So Pleiadians are a fifth dimensional consciousness, and again, they look very human like majority of them as well. So if you did see a Pleiadian, other than the blue ones, but if you did see a Pleiadian walking along here on planet Earth, you wouldn't think that they were any different to us. So we have a lot of similarities with them, to be honest with you. We really do. Okay, so they originate from the fifth dimensional consciousness, as some involved, and they are in the constellation of Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, and it's located in the Milky Way system, right located near Taurus. Now, just another thing, okay, as I go into the signs and symptoms, well, not symptoms, more like the big kind of call out signs, okay, that will really resonate with you, because I think this video is really going to deeply affect and get a lot of people to understand with Pleiadians and reconnecting with that, and that how that resonates within your experience here on Earth. Because my God, us Pleiadians, we tend to go through pretty much the same things in here, to be honest with you. But normally, so great time, okay, when reaching out, or when the Pleiadians are, I mean, they are very much around at the moment. They are very, very strongly around. So a lot of people have the experiences. I've noticed a lot of people are typing up Pleiadian characteristics, because we're all starting to feel the call for humanity to wake up. We are hearing the alarm. Starseeds, wake up. You have been asleep for far too long, my darlings. It is time now to awaken to your divine mission, your divine purpose, and we're going to do it all together. We have got this. But during normally the times, okay, that they can be very prominent, even though now they're even more prominent, is roughly towards the end of May, which is when you get the Pleiadian transmission. And also, apologies, I've got a little bit of cold, so I do apologize for the little sniffles going on there. During May and November tend to be very pivotal points of time in contact normally from these beings. But don't worry about that, because communication, it comes in all forms. You know, these beings come to you open it with an open heart. So as we know, Pleiadians, okay, 5th dimensional consciousness to 4th in the constellation of Pleiades, near the Taurus constellation in the Milky Way. And again, Pleiadians have a very, 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 very long history with humanity and with planet Earth. And they've also had a lot of involvement with trying to help humanity, but also they've even got their own karmic ties, which I did explain into my other video, Struggles of a Starseed. A majority of problems that some Pleiadians and some of the old soul starseeds, a majority of most starseeds tend to experience, but more so with Pleiadians. So first of all, Pleiadians, so these are the signs, okay, you need to look out for, and if you're resonating with it, go for it. Just go what is right for you and what feels right here. Pleiadians are highly, highly, highly sensitive. No, I mean empath 100. I mean, we are empaths turned on to the point. People think being an empath is cool. Let me tell you this, it is a gift and it is a curse, okay? So being an empath, it's got its downside and it's got its good side. But us Pleiadians, we are very, very highly sensitive, highly, highly, highly sensitive beings. We will pick up on emotion. We are the kind of people that if we see a sad scene in a film, we'll start blubbering. If we see a romantic scene on a film, we'll start blubbering. We are very, very compassionate beings that are incredibly empathic. So your heart space, your heart chakra is full on out there, completely activated. You are a very sensitive bunny. And might people say, oh, you're too sensitive, but don't listen to that. It's because you are a energy picker-upper. You are sensitive to energy being on the vibration that you are. But they are incredibly emotionally sensitive. They are the empaths. They are highly, 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 highly intuitive as well. So another sign that you're a Pleiadian, you will be incredibly highly intuitive, picking up things like that, knowing things before you even know it, you know. And one thing us Pleiadians do, because of our very loving and empathic nature, we're the kind of people, okay, because we just generally want to help all the time. We're the kind of people that we don't always listen to our intuition, right? So normally when your intuition comes up about someone and you think, oh God, I've got a bit of a feeling about that, maybe I shouldn't trust that, and then you get that little voice that comes in and says, don't be sorry, don't be silly, you're just being a little oversensitive. But then guess what happens? That intuition, as we always know, it never proves us wrong. But you see, because of a Pleiadian being so nurturing and caring and wanting to help all the time, what they tend to do is, okay, and this is the downside of being a Pleiadian, this is kind of the downside of the spiritual way, is that what we tend to do is, because we want to help so many people, because we're healers, and Pleiadians as well, they are very nurturing, loving, really nurturing people, okay? So they can't understand why anybody will want to hurt someone, okay? So another sign of, I'll go into what I was saying before, but another sign is they cannot stand any form of injustice. They find it very hard to comprehend, like, why would someone behave like that? Why is this world the way this is? Why do people want to be part of war? Why are people so horrible? We can't really comprehend or understand that, because that is not the vibration we're on. So Pleiadians, we can't stand any injustice. We find it very confusing how people can be so negative and act in these negative ways. We are just very nurturing and loving people. So, you know, things like on this planet Earth it's a pretty hard one for Pleiadians to experience. And trust me, there's a fair few of us here. A lot of us have had a few experiences on this Earth, and trust me, a lot of us, we haven't had it easy, especially here in the human experience here from the Pleiadian perspective. It is hardcore down here for us, guys. It really is. But once you start to learn the ways and finding out who you really are, then we can shift that and change that, and you own that Pleiadian, that starseed, that Andromedan, that Arcturian, whatever you identify. It does not matter what you identify, but no, it does. But what you are and who you are here is a multi-dimensional source consciousness, and own that. Own those spiritual gifts. This is part of the wonderful collage of you. Now, because they have this very innate wanting to help everyone and wanting to be the nurturer, wanting to be the spiritual healer, the kind of person who wants to make everything better for everyone else, okay, this is when they get into the other side of the coin. They tend to kind of like attract what we call, as I said in the struggles of the starseed, the lost souls, the people that are kind of having the really dark aspects to themselves, you know, the people that have gone through a lot of trauma, your narcissists, okay, I know it's probably not always the best thing to say, but your emotional vampires, you know, so we kind of get the what can I say? Well, you're a light, and all the moths are kind of drawn to that light. And you see, because Pleiadians are very like, see everything on a very open aspect, because Pleiadians as well, we are incredibly open. Sometimes we're a little bit too open, so we should learn to be a bit more reserved, but we are very open people. So sometimes we expect people to be the same way, and it's not always like that. But what happens is we kind of want to be like, oh well, I want to help you and I can make it all better, and then what happens is, okay, it ends up becoming a very negative situation, and they end up becoming in a toxic situation where they are not putting down their boundaries. They're getting all their spiritual light drained from them, and they tend to go into this being attacked by the emotional vampirism, your energy drainers, and we end up going into those patterns. So that is one of the main challenges really for a Pleiadian, is to reserve their energy. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you, as I said before, majority of my life I was the people pleaser. I was the kind of person that I would throw everything away. It didn't matter what I was going through. I wanted to help, and people say, why are you just so kind? You're, you know, or they would say, my family would say to me, Tiff, why is it you're always attracting these same kind of people? You know, you always are. Well, it's the Pleiadian energy. We kind of draw in the ones that really need that energy, and they're not always that great. And I always did that. I was kind of like always kind of like doubting my intuition. You know, I'd end up getting myself involved in situations which I thought I was really helping in a beautiful way, and what happened, it went completely chaotic, and I was in this never-ending loop, just giving away all my energy to all the wrong people, you know, attracting all the wrong type of people, you know, and getting stuck in that loop until I finally said, hang on a minute, I can't do this anymore. It's now time for me to start setting my boundaries down and saying no. So the big challenges with the Pleiadian, and it's all right, guys, we've all been there, okay? We have to learn to put boundaries. Look, guys, not everything is love and light, okay? A lot of people say it's all magic, it's all fairies, it's sparkles. Yes, to some degree that it may be, but the thing is, though, in this world, it's not just a spiritual warfare, it's a physical warfare. There's a whole massive warfare going on around here, and we have to learn that there is dark as well as there is light, and unfortunately you do need both for a balance. But it's where we choose to put that energy in, because we are now, this planet is now starting to raise up to that consciousness as we are now moving into these ascension ways, moving into this fifth dimensional earth, okay? And we're starting to let go of these old paradigm ways, and we're moving into that. But currently, and what we are used to, is not everyone works on a love and light level. There are people out there, and that's part of that journey, and we thank them for the experience, because they're helping us to teach us our boundaries. But you know, be careful where you put your energy into, no matter what. I mean, yes, help others, it's a beautiful thing, we must do that, but make sure that you put yourself first, because what us Pleiadians will do, and starseeds, we will drain ourselves dry until we are on spiritual burnout. And if you're on spiritual burnout, you're not going to do anything. And then what happens is, the Pleiadians, we end up feeling drained, we end up feeling miserable, we end up feeling stuck, and we end up going in this never-ending cycle where we are the giver and giver and giver, and we just get taken. So that is another sign, well, a most definite sign that you are a Pleiadian. You know, hopefully all you guys can resonate with that. Another thing with Pleiadians as well is they are incredibly artistic and creative, because they truly understand that when they are in that creative aspect, they are channeling that divine essence. Look, when you are creating and when you're doing something that you love and you're going into that creator mode, you know, and you're drawing or whatever it is, that form of creativity that is to you, you are channeling that higher self energy, that conscious energy, because it's got that element of joy and something new and sparkly. So creativity, massive on that front. Specifically Pleiadians, they need to be creative. They love being creative, they love their music, they love design, they love art, they love nature, and they love beautiful things, or making something very feminine and very beautiful as well. So highly creative. They will also do very well in jobs of creativity. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of them will want to go down the acting path or the singing path, but what they will have to learn is, as well, being the creators that they are, that they need to have those firm boundaries in this lifetime. So that is the main challenge, because they will be very sensitive to energies. So incredibly creative. Apologies, that is my neighbour's dog. You know, I can't do anything about the outside sound effects, guys, I'm afraid. But as you know, they are incredibly creative. So going forward, another thing about Pleiadians as well is, again, psychic ability. They are your clairsentients, they are your clair empaths, your highly intuitives, and again, they will be drawn to spiritual things from a young age. They are very much turned on. They will see things. Another thing about Pleiadians, and this is another thing which none of you might not be aware of or are aware of. What we tend to do is, and what we have is, this ability to see somebody with their soul. Now, you know, okay, so if you ever get the thing where someone kind of feels uncomfortable around you, okay, and they could be presenting to you all this, well, maybe not necessarily true, so presenting to you what they want to present, but a Pleiadian will not see the outside or the facade. A Pleiadian will see straight into the soul. This is why they tend to have these very piercing eyes, Pleiadians. Okay, so if you're looking at a Pleiadian, you're thinking, you're not looking at me, you're looking right here at my soul, and you can sense things about me that I've never told anyone. So we are able to see through any of the bull crap, where any species, gobbledygook, come out my mouth. Sorry about that, guys. We are able to see through the facade, the illusions. We will see you in depth, okay? And also, you can't lie to a Pleiadian. We have this ability, okay, that we see through any untruths, okay? So another sign that you're a Pleiadian, if someone's not being truthful to you, you're gonna know. You're gonna pick it up and hear. My loves, this is how we are. We are attunements, we are vibrations, we are sensitives. We pick up, we see through your soul. There is no hiding anything from a Pleiadian, and we know, we know, okay? So if anyone says or feels uncomfortable, okay, because you have this ability to be able to see somebody on that soul perspective, they will feel uncomfortable around you, or they tend to might lash out on you, or might not like that because you are seeing that through the facade and they are trying to hide that. Another perspective is that you're Pleiadian. Vivid dreams. Pleiadians, we like to astral travel. Now, a lot of you, okay, who know that you're astral traveling, but we tend to like to go on our little journeys on astral traveling. We like to travel a little bit when we're in the astral realm, okay? So we tend to have incredibly vivid dreams, whether it's communicating with guides. Also, another indication, okay, that you may be connecting to a Pleiadian lifetime. You may have dreams of like violet skies, purple skies of several moons, okay? That's one that is part of Pleiades as well, depending, because you've got the different places in Pleiades. I mean, we can go through the different parts of Pleiades. It's there for you, but you know, if you're a Pleiadian, you'll resonate. So as I was saying, incredibly vivid dreams. Okay, another thing as well is, okay, which you will find, okay, and it specifically happens to some Pleiadian adults because of how sensitive that they are, because they are basically the empaths of the starseed community. Not saying there's not many other empaths, okay, because we're all empaths in the starseed community, but Pleiadians are incredibly highly sensitive because they are picking up on the vibrations of the planet and what's happening with that, and they're picking up on people's emotions. And also, okay, they become very in later on in adult life, they can tend to suffer from very, very, very vivid nightmares, myself included, to be honest with you. And also they can tend to, because they are picking up all these different energies, which is why it's really important that we get grounded and you protect yourself before you go to bed, is because you become this open vessel. And this, what tends to happen is you tend to get attacked astrally in the dream time as well, which has happened to me, which is not a nice experience. But because we are like these conduits, these channels, you know, these like signals are going boom, 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 picking up, you know, you get the other, or what we want to call it, those little negative moths on the astral plane, you know, they can be drawn to that, and you can end up getting attacked in the astral realm. So make sure, if you can, it's not always easy, because I don't always remember to, you know, I can't say that I'm perfect, because I'm not. I'm on this journey as much as I am with you guys as well. So, you know, get an amethyst under your bed, put some black obsidian, make sure, if you can, to close down your third eye. Just imagine your chakras closing down one by one, you know, look into different things, sage your room, you know, or look into what I can suggest is looking at protecting your aura. You can do this by, before you go to bed, by calling in the sacred directions, such as your angels, Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, Ariel, Sandalphon, bringing all your angels, Metatron from above and Sandalphon from below, and bringing in that divine protection around your aura, okay? So make sure you keep yourself protected, okay, before you go to bed. Another thing, my dear beautiful Pleiadians, okay, is we need to ground. I do it too. I forget to ground all the time. I know how important it is, but the Empath Light Worker Survival book is ground yourself, or you are going to pick up that vibe, okay, and it's going to make you feel out of balance, because you are a energy conduit. So also, other things to look out for, Pleiadians, incredibly intelligent. They will have a fascination for the unconventional beliefs. We will be drawn to ETs, UFOs, time travel, conspiracy theories. We love things like that. Ancient civilization, Atlantis, oceans, Lyra. Okay, you're going to be drawn to all these things. You're going to have dreams of flying through space. You're going to have dreams of flying. There's going to be all these things that resonate with you. Now, normally, okay, if you get Pleiadian contact, hey, look, no matter what form it comes in, they will communicate with you. They are the most loving beings to communicate. Now, another thing that I must say is sometimes you've got to be careful not to be confusing Pleiadians with some of the beings from Aldebaran, I think it is. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, my apologies to all you astronomers out there, because I'm not putting myself in the good books there. There is a constellation called Aldebaran, and they are not potentially positive beings, okay? So you might be, sometimes if you get a connection that way through Aldebaran, unless you've had an experience from there that is being very prominent in your life now, but they're not necessarily positive. It's the same as like there are some Nordic hybrid species of beings, multidimensionals as well. They're in a bit of both, okay, that might look like that. But Pleiadian energies, they are very soft and they're very loving, and they would never do anything against your free will. But they will, if you put that signal out, they will communicate with you. Just wait, okay? Because if you're a Pleiadian, you've got that Pleiadian heart. You are always connected to your Pleiadian star family. So, my fellow Pleiadians, shine. Time to wake up. Time to wake up, old souls. We're all here on Team Earth, and activate that Pleiadian consciousness that you are. Thank you for joining me on another video. I'm sorry it's a 23-minute video, but you know, what do we know as time? Time is just a human conception. Time is, everything is in the now. But if you can take this information and this helps and it really resonates with you, then sorry, who cares if it's a 23-minute video? It's probably going to be longer, but oh well. You know, take it, go with it, you know. So I love you, my Pleiadian friends, my star families, my brothers and sisters, my light workers, my fae, my magical beings. Thank you for joining me on this lovely, amazing video on my Pleiadians. I love you all. Right, you know how it is. Promo time. Right, you know where it's going to be from. This is Sheen, okay? Right, this one, I wish I made this one, but this one's from Temu, but I love it anyway. It goes to the whole Pleiadian thing. But if you wish to find out about my jewelry and you want to know more about readings and also, you know, with guidance on helping you connect to your mediumship and helping you connect to different things, hit me up. You know I'm on TikTok. Check me out, Tivika Magica. I'm easy to spot. Look out for the ginger girl. You know how it is, okay? Send me a message. And, you know, any way that I can help you, then I know that I am living my divine purpose, because seeing you become the beautiful, shiny starshine that you are, it's a beautiful experience. So, I love you and have a magical Tivika Magica day.